freaky friends. This is Colleen.
And this is Margaret. And we're the Cousins
Weird. And we're back again.
Yay.
We had a brief hiatus.
Yep, here we are. I'm done with school, but I have a test. My written test is tomorrow, and I've been studying and craziness. And Colleen and I just spent 45 minutes catching up because it's been that long since we hung out.
We've been able to see each other. I've been getting ready for a baby coming, and that the shower and everything was so busy last weekend, and we were just like, you know what, we can't do it this week. So that's good. We have to have boundaries in life.
I know. And I'm in this weird in between, like I'm done with school, but I'm only now I'm 2 weeks away from my surgery, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm have this really small window to get a bunch of shit done that I need to get done.
Yeah. So we're just
wanted to make soap this weekend, and it didn't happen.
Oh well.
Did you like the soap I gave you?
I love it. I haven't used it because I sit it, but seriously, this is what I do. Next to my laptop on my desk is that soap, and I will pick it up and sniff it. I haven't used it, not because I don't want to, but I love the smell of it, and I knew you didn't have any more left. And I was like, I don't want to use it.
Well, I could make you that blend in the diffuser blend, and you can just diffuse it.
Oh, that'll be perfect. Yes, I need that in the diffuser blend so I can smell, and then I can use it.
This is my lavender.
Richard wanted to use it. I'm like, don't touch that.
It's the lavender moon one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like this one.
I have that written down somewhere.
Richard would love it because he likes lavender. I'm like, don't touch that. It's mine.
It's my soap. Oh my God, we go through so much. We use bar soap here, but it's Ruben and I are both we prefer to use bar soap over the liquid soap. Liquid soap makes me itchy. I can't stand it.
Really? I've never had an issue with it.
But I'm dry.
Richard's a bar soap. Richard's a bar soap guy. Richard's a bar soap guy. He loves bar soap, so.
Oh, I'll have to make sure I give you some other stuff so you can let him use the soap. Or maybe I'll make him his own soap.
He would love that. He
likes lavender?
He loves lavender. He loves woodsy smells.
Okay.
But he does love lavender because sometimes I buy that lavender vanilla from Bath and Body Works, and he uses it all. And I was like, you turd. Right now I'm using unscented natural baby soap because I ran out of my soap, and I bought it to wash my tattoo, and I had a big bottle of it, and I've just been using that.
Nice.
But
it works. The soap I made you is lavender, and it's got cedarwood and all these other woody ones, so it's the perfect Richard blend.
It is the perfect. That's why I don't want him touching it.
Because he'll use this all up.
Did you know? Oh, two things. Two things are coming out. On June 15th is Bridgerton's second part, of course.
Yes.
Which I'm so excited for. And the day after, the 16th, is House of Dragon.
Oh my God.
The new
I'm not letting myself watch them until I'm laid up.
Yeah, that's smart.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I gotta wait a week to 10 days.
You gotta avoid all spoilers for them both.
It'll be hard.
I know. It will be, because let me tell you, I'm on Bridgerton algorithm because everything is Bridgerton flying at me all the time. Bridgerton baby tips. That's what I'm getting a lot of. Mine
is nail polish and anything with Pedro Pascal. Still.
Yes. Yeah. Isn't it funny? It's so funny. You think, oh, didn't you see this video? No one else saw it, you weirdo, because you're the only one watching all that stuff. No one else is paying attention to it.
I know.
Everyone's algorithm is different, fitting to them.
Last of Us comes out next year, the next season of Last of Us. Not till next year. Sons of bitches.
I did see something about they talked about a third and fourth season too. They're already planning on that, so that's exciting. Because I'm loving it.
Doesn't Joel's character get killed though?
I
think in the game it does.
He does get in the game, but Ellie doesn't. No. I know who wants to watch. Maybe they'll change it. They're not gonna. It might be different than the game.
Might be different. And I've seen things about a Grogu Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
That would be fun.
Yes, but I like the serial because it's 10 hours and not an hour and a half or 2 hours.
And Margaret, it's not Pedro Pascal in the uniform.
I don't care. It's his voice.
It's his
first
voice.
Season, he's in it more in the first season.
Yeah, but the rest he's not in the.
He's not in it at all. I know.
No.
And it used to be that they used him like the second season, I think it was. They used him in the emotional scenes, and they showed his face in it, so you know that was him. Obviously.
Right, we knew that was him.
But then in season 3, I don't think he was in the suit at all.
It's like Darth Vader. He's not.
I don't know. It's okay though because it's his voice, so it's fine.
Yeah, you just pretend. You can pretend.
It sounds like him. Look good. I'm okay.
So it's him.
It's him. It is. It's fine.
That's all that matters. I don't think there's anything else here. We're just, we're down to 8 weeks before the baby's born. That's exciting.
2 weeks before my surgery.
2 weeks for your surgery. I don't have like any.
And I haven't done a single manicure pedicure yet.
I know I wanted you to do a pedicure. We haven't had time to do it.
Oh, so you have to figure out an evening that you can come in Monday, Tuesday, or Friday evening in the next 2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah.
Won't be this week.
Next week's the last week before
I'll have to look it up and see.
A hiatus.
Right. Oh well.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, you ready to jump in?
I am.
I got a creepy one tonight.
Hit me with it.
And we're recording right now at 8:55 at night, and you're gonna go to bed after this. I am going to talk to you about shadow people.
Oh no. I'm already
I know.
I'm already creeped out.
They're described as dark, shadowy figures resembling human forms, often seen out of the corner of one's eye. They vanish when you try to look directly at them. Unlike traditional ghosts, they lack facial features or recognizable clothing, appearing instead as eerie black silhouettes.
This happens to me all the time.
They're there,
I
Margaret.
always think it's just my vision is weird. I'm like, okay, it's nothing. Or you see something, and then you turn your head and it's gone. Like,
yeah,
okay.
It was something.
Stop.
Reports of shadow people are widespread, with countless individuals across the globe sharing eerie, similar experiences. Some of the common characteristics are their humanoid-like human-like shape. They usually present roughly human outline, often described as tall and thin. Some accounts talk about elongated limbs or disproportionate features, which makes them creepier, really, when you think about it. Then there's a lack of facial features, and there's not really clothing. You can't see things. It appears dark silhouettes. They voids of light in the shape of a person. So what you see is a shadow. And it makes sense because if you have a long shadow, the shadow, depending on the time of the day, your shadow can be long, which would make sense why they have elongated features. Some researchers suggest that certain environments might be more conducive to shadow people sightings, such as high electromagnetic fields, old buildings, and areas with historically paranormal activity. And I think any of the episodes I talked about haunted places, there's always been a shadow figure sightings at them. Always. So
my shadow cat just creeped up on my lap.
Shadow cat appeared.
Isn't he cute? Look at his cute face.
He's kind of blurry, but yes. Because
you're
blurred out and he's
he's purring and his eyes are closed.
It's the sense of dread that really gets to people. Many people have described an intense feeling of anxiety or terror in the presence of these figures. And that's the most common connection between anything that anyone describes seeing them, is that dread feeling you get when you see them. And the sightings of them are often fleeting. What's that? Are you a fan of?
Yeah.
It's super loud all of a sudden.
Hold on a second. I'm going to mute you and I'm going to turn it off.
Okay.
Kelly got my Mr. Bean moment I just had.
Listen, we're recording this. You know this goes on Patreon, right? So if you're not on our Patreon yet, you're going to want to see that. I'm crying. Okay. Okay. Back to shadow people. Sightings of shadow people are often fleeting. The figure seems to vanish or fade away when you try to focus on them or when light floods in. And there's an eerie silence associated to them. Like there's no footsteps, no voices, just the presence of them, which makes it a little more creepy, really, I think. Because it's just like the vision. You catch the vision of it. You don't hear anything. I always think like lack of noise is scary to me, like silence. I don't like silence in general. So some shadow people are observed to be passive, simply standing still or watching. Want them watching me. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. Thanks.
Others are seen moving across walls or ceilings or even trying to approach a person. Back off. Don't come near me.
Not good. No thanks.
And they're not a modern phenomenon. I mean, we hear about them a lot, but they're not modern. They've been around. The historical accounts of shadow figures found in various cultures in different time periods. Some cultures that have talked about shadow people in ancient Egypt, shadowy figures were referred to as ka, or shadow spirits, believed to be spiritual doubles tethered to the person. They weren't malevolent, but they were part of the person's journey to the afterlife. So they're actually something you wanted to see. So that's interesting. In the Middle Ages in Europe, the mythology around shadow people had kind of a sinister tone. Many cultures described shadowy apparitions in the context of demonic activity or witchcraft, which, you know, everything was witchcraft back then.
Oh, yeah.
A shadow figure might be considered I never can say this right. Harbinger? How do you say that?
Harbinger.
Harbinger of death. Love the word, can't say it. Harbinger of death, or a malevolent. Am I saying that right?
Malevolent. No, that's right.
Okay, malevolent. And I'm like questioning myself. Malevolent spirit intent on causing harm or mischief. The Native American Navajos speak of the Yinallushi, or skinwalkers, which give me the friggin' heebie-jeebies. Just, I don't even like to say it.
I know, it's like I just got chills just thinking about it. Ooh, no thanks.
Beings capable of transforming into animals who may appear as dark, ominous figures to those they haunt. These entities are deeply rooted in Navajo culture and are regarded with a mixture of fear and respect. I think sometimes fear sometimes leads to respect because you just don't want to piss them off. The Islamic traditions speak of the jinn, which everyone's heard of the jinn, supernatural beings who live in a parallel world to humans. The jinn, much like shadow people, are sometimes seen and interacted with by humans, often during states of sleep or in places where barriers between worlds are believed to be thin. So it kind of explains why people see them in places with other paranormal activity, because those veils are thin. In African traditions, shadow people are considered to be spirits of the ancestors or spiritual entities. They are often viewed with a mix of respect and fear, also believing to bring messages or warnings from the spirit world. So they're not so scary, but I guess if you saw one, if they're going to bring you a warning, warnings usually aren't good.
No.
Even in the modern era, shadow people remain prevalent, and the reports of them continue to come in. One of the earliest documented cases in the modern times was in 1950s. Paranormal researcher and author Heidi Hollis began collecting and studying reports of shadow people. Hollis describes these entities as dark silhouettes with human shapes, attributing many encounters to a supernatural origin. So she's like, they're all ghostly, supernatural stuff. So I went into Reddit and found some subreddits. There's some subreddit shadow people. I just pulled a couple stories, thought I'd share the stories that I read. So this one is by user Horror This. Horror This. I'm going to read right what they wrote. Bright sunny summer afternoon, blue sky, middle of the day. I could hear lawnmowers and kids outside that had just gotten off the bus. I had just got home from school. This was just days before summer vacation started. My family were painting our living room, and all the furniture was covered with drop cloths and pushed to the center of the room. This is relevant. So I just got home, grabbed a can of soda, cranked up some music very loud on our stereo, and laid on one sheet-covered sofa in the middle of the room. From where I was laying, out of the corner of my eye, I can see the stairs. Suddenly, I saw what I thought was my mother's dark hair coming up the stairs. I got goosebumps.
I can't even.
I turned towards her and started to yell over loud music. "What are you doing home so early?" But I stopped in the middle of the sentence when I actually see what's coming up my stairs. Oh,
Thanks.
To my absolute horror, really big letters, I saw a roughly 6 to 7 foot tall black mass moving up the stairs. Oh. It was black and darkness, but also see-through. It hovered, stopped moving at the top landing, and then moved slightly closer to me. Terrified, I shuffled back over all the furniture had been pushed together until I was as far away as I could possibly be from the black smoke monster. It felt like forever, but as was probably just only a minute or so, and it just floated there. It felt like it was watching me, and I felt dread and terror like nothing I'd ever felt before. I was frozen in fear, music still blasting from the speakers. Finally, it basically sunk down through the floor, and I was left alone in the bright, sunny living room. After a little bit of time, I worked up the courage to get up and turn off the music. I called my mother and begged her to come home. She accused me of having an overactive imagination and had fallen asleep. No one believed me, and I was absolutely terrified of being alone in that house until we moved away. I seriously still think about what I would do if I turned around and it was standing behind me. I've never been gripped with terror like that before or since, and I've been a victim of a home invasion by a non-shadow person and other terrible things, and those that don't even begin to come close to how scary this was. A weird addendum to this story is that shortly after this experience, I went to a friend's home for the first time. I had not told her or anyone besides my parents what I had seen. So we get into her living room and she points up the stairs to the landing on the second floor and says to me plainly, "I saw a black shadow demon standing watching me from the top of those stairs."
No.
To say that this unsettled me is a massive understatement. I had half to convince myself that I was crazy rather than witness something paranormal. But after she told me about seeing the same thing I had just seen weeks prior, I was more scared than ever. Years later, I told my friend about my encounter as well. She's the only one who ever fully believed me. Ooh.
No, thanks. Nope, I'd move out.
I know. I have another one from Psychological Owl 11. Shadow people experiences. I have always seen shadow people. It started off with strange black masks that ran past my bedroom door when I was 9 or 10 years old. At the time, I was like, what the fuck? Then I was more like, what the fuck, than scared of it. Then I didn't see it again. But I always had a strange feeling whenever I entered my parents' bedroom. One particular corner always seemed off. I would tell my mom and dad, must be they're from England. Mm-hmm. They're from England. They're the UK. That there was
Australia. They do mamas in Australia, New Zealand too. Him.
That there was a child in the corner, but they brushed it off as nothing. My older sister used to see a man at the end of her bed, but apparently he didn't stay for long. I hate that.
No. I'm good.
Going on for a few years now, I saw a shadow person peek from around my doorway looking at me in my room. Every time I would make eye contact with it, it would disappear. Another time I saw one run at me from the corner of my eye, and when I turned to look at it, it was gone. This was a reoccurring thing I was never really scared of. It just made me feel weird. Yeah. But the shadow people will always come out from my parents' bedroom. I thought I was seeing things until one night my boyfriend and I were watching a film, and we both witnessed a shadow walk up the stairs, come around past my doorway and into my parents' room, and we were freaked out for a second. And it wasn't any of my family.
Just a second?
Yeah, just
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I know. And they knew it wasn't any of the family because they were all downstairs. As far as I know, my house isn't haunted because we are the only people who have ever lived in it. Still to this day, I'm not sure what they want or why they're there, but it makes me think, why can I see them? Why are they showing themselves to me? I have always been a lover of the paranormal, but never really thought to look too much into it, as I don't want to unleash something far worse. If anyone has any advice of any sort of explanation, I would love to hear it. So there was a couple of anecdotal experiences. I was trying to sound real scientific with that.
Yeah.
So there's a book called Real Ghosts, Restless Spirits, and Haunted Places by Brad Steiger. He's a paranormal author and researcher. And he recounts a story of a woman named Maria who had a terrifying experience with a shadow person. She often woke up in the middle of the night to see a dark, shadowy figure standing at the foot of her bed. See, you gotta stop standing at the end of people's beds. You hear this all the time. I don't like that.
Either.
The figure was tall and featureless, exuding an overwhelming sense of malevolence. Malevolent.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the word. I can't ever say that right.
Maria. It's because of Disney and Maleficent.
That's it. Screws me up. Maria was often paralyzed with fear, unable to move or scream. The figure would linger for a few moments before disappearing. These encounters left Maria deeply disturbed, and she eventually sought the help of a paranormal investigator who suggested that the shadow person could be a manifestation of unresolved trauma from her past. There are instances in paranormal TV shows. One is the Ghost Adventures crew with Zach Bagans. You know Zach Bagans. The bro of all ghost hunters. In season 4 episode Return to Bobby Mackey's, the team captured what appeared to be a shadowy figure moving in the basement of the nightclub in a location notorious for paranormal activity. The figure was seen darting across the room, seemingly interacting with an environment, and was caught on multiple cameras. The Ghost Hunters team, led by Jason Hawes and Grant Williams, episode titled Eastern State Penitentiary, which we've done an episode on, and they're always talking about the shadow people there. They investigated the infamous prison known for the haunting activity. During their investigation, they captured footage of a shadowy figure darting down the corridor. The figure appeared to move swiftly and disappeared into the darkness, leaving the team baffled and viewers spooked. When we talked about that, I remember talking about there was a particular corridor that people would say, like, people getting tours and visitors of the penitentiary would say they saw shadow figures. And like haunted hotels, we talked about there's certain places where people saw shadow figures. And I swear to God, every haunted thing that we've talked about, when it came to tours or something, people reported seeing shadow figures.
Yeah, crazy. No thanks.
From the Paranormal State team, they investigated a case at Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas. During their investigation, they set up cameras throughout the house and captured shadow figures moving from room to room. The figure was seen multiple times on different cameras, leading the team and the homeowners convinced that something otherworldly was present. And you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk some theories of what are some theories that people have of what these shadow figures are. Some believe that shadow figures are spirits or ghosts, obviously, lost souls unable to cross over. Others think they could be a manifestation of negative energy or malevolent spirits. I gotta pause with that. Then there's the idea that shadow people are interdimensional beings existing in parallel dimensions and occasionally crossing over into our reality.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like any of them, really.
No, but that one specifically, I'm not.
You're not a fan of that?
No, I don't like that.
There's also a belief that shadow people are time travelers, humans from the past or future. Their shadowy appearance might be due to limitations in their time travel technology or conditions in which they travel. Which is an interesting thought, but why are they in these, typically found in places with other paranormal activity? You know what I mean? Like, why would that be the place they'd go? I don't know.
Very true.
Now, there's a scientific explanation the scientists have come up with. One widely accepted one is that shadow people are a product of sleep paralysis, which kind of makes sense. During this state, individuals are awake but unable to move or speak, often leading to vivid and terrifying hallucinations, including shadow figures. Now, some people think sleep paralysis is because of demons or...
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe the one is causing the other.
You don't know. Similar to sleep paralysis, hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations, which occur as one falls asleep or wakes up, can cause people to see shadow figures. Some psychologists believe that shadow people are projections of subconscious fears and anxieties in a way for the mind to externalize and process internal stressors, which I guess you can hallucinate stuff when you're stressed the fuck out.
I think that's, I think that could be true. Sure.
But and I think too, like, I think some of it would be your eyes playing a trick on you. Like, if you're in a haunted location, you're going to be thinking you see, maybe like trying to find things.
You're going to be on the edge anyway, and every little, like, could be just like a flicker. It could be an actual shadow. You know what I mean? Of somebody there with you, you know?
Right. So I can see how, I think some of it could be like a, you know, a trick of your eye, or, you know, the adrenaline of the situation could cause you to think you saw something. But some things that people
blowing a curtain and having it flutter could be, you know.
Exactly. But some of the things that people talk about, if they really saw what they saw, that's not an explanation for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So experts suggest if you see a shadow person, Margaret, stay calm, assert your boundaries, and make environment adjustments to reduce shadows. Keep your lights all the fuck on. Don't ever. But that one person said they were in their sunny home when it happened.
I can't sleep with the light on. I cannot sleep. If I fall asleep with the light on, I don't sleep soundly. I wake up every few minutes, every 10 minutes or so, just because the light refuses to allow me to get like the deep REM sleep.
I can't. My brain's like, oh, it's wake up time.
It could be the tiniest sliver of light. It will keep me awake. Like, it could be one little tiny light in the room from, like, I don't know, the printer or somebody's watch being plugged in. It'll keep me awake. Like, I have to cover it.
Oh, wow. You're super sensitive.
Yeah, it needs to be dark. If that is anywhere near me, it's like my eyeball can see it. And I'm like,
you could never live in the city because my street light shines in my light every night. I don't have.
I would die. I used to live in the city, but I don't know that now that I've gotten the older, I used to, when I was in college, I used to fall asleep at parties next to the speaker. Like,
you fall asleep mid-sentence, Margaret. So.
I know, and now, like, that I'm older, I can't, like, sleep well unless all these parameters are met.
Right.
Like, I can fall asleep, but I won't stay asleep.
I'm like that too. I need my room. I need my comforts that I need. Like my heating. Yeah. I still have been sleeping with a heating blanket because I'm a crazy person.
Yes. Yeah. You are. 100%.
I don't know why, but are
it's part of my labradorite crescent moons?
Yes, they are. Thank you for
noticing. Oh my God. I've been like eyeing them for the last, like, I don't know, half an hour. But like, she has labradorite earrings. They look so pretty. Thank
you.
I'm a huge whore for labradorite. I can't.
I know, it's so pretty.
Labradorite and moonstone are my two favoriteest things ever.
I got a labradorite and lapis.
I love it.
Shungite, labradorite, amethyst, and peach moonstone. Or is that pink amethyst? That's pink amethyst.
I have a dragon, like a bloodstone, which is supposed to be really good for healing. But yeah.
It is.
So I have one of those. You know, the healing I can get for my dang ankle issues I got.
Wear it right around your ankle.
I should.
So anyway, that's shadow people. If whatever you believe, if you believe they're spirits or interdimensional beings or just a product of your own imagination, the impact it has on people, though, regardless of the reason, right? Like, it doesn't matter because they creep people the fuck out. They creep me out. Just reading about them creeps me out. Yeah. I haven't seen one. Well, we saw the shadow kids.
We did.
At the reform school. So we saw a shadow
too.
So we saw, it was like shadows on the ground of children. So I mean, I guess I have seen, but they didn't scare me. I mean, it was like unsettling to see it, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like a creepy.
It didn't feel. It didn't feel sinister there. Is why.
No, it didn't.
No, but other things there did feel sinister. Just
but they weren't the ones that were scaring me. It was the sound of the friggin' music box from that well. It freaked me out the most.
Oh my God! I was like, "Where's that coming from?"
I don't like that at all.
I've had a few bad experiences there. Last 2 times I went were unsettling, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't need to come back here ever again.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Bad.
So, Shadow People. I hope I don't give myself nightmares because it's close to bedtime, and I talked about them. Hopefully, they don't come visit me. Thank you. Thank you. Don't come here.
Just turn all the lights off, and there won't be any shadows, and you won't have them.
Yeah, but I have the dang street lights outside that will cast a shadow on my floor, and I'll think it's a friggin' shadow person. I'll be like, ah!
I mean, the other, like a few months ago, the full moon was shining directly in my window, and it was like right into my face. And I'm like, I need to turn the moon off because I can't. The friggin' moon was keeping me up.
You're nuts. Like, you need a dimmer switch.
You need to dim that down just a tad, or scoot to the side.
She was She was a beauty that night, though. She was a beauty.
It was beautiful, and I'm like, oh, the moon's
but pretty. Not for sleeping.
Like, oh, it's keeping me up. Like, of course it is. And I'm like, I have to sleep on a certain way. You know, I'm like such an old lady. Like, I have to sleep on a certain side of the bed, on my side, with my head a certain way. And if I roll onto my back or on my one side, and if I try to sleep on the other side, then Ruben breathes in my face, and I can't stand it. You know what I mean? It's like I can't.
In my face. No, thank you.
I can't have warm air on me. I can't. It's like in the summer, I don't want anything touching me, like skin to skin. I can't. It's just like I can't even with it. I love my husband, but like once it's time to sleep, you have to go over there, and there's
be away from me. No, I don't want to be touched.
Have your shoulder stick to my shoulder. I just can't.
It's the worst feeling. Skin sticking to skin. Ew.
Oh, I can't.
It. Well, people should save the date for September 7th. 7th. September 7th is the Magic Market at the Wellness Cottage in Watertown. They're going to have vendors, a food truck, tarot readers, mediums, psychics, and the Cousins Weird will be there. We're going to have a table. Come see us. We'll have little fortunes for you to pull at the table, a little affirmation for your life. And just come
Colleen's hang out. Really good at the affirmations.
They're fun to do. I like doing them.
You're really good
and that's something you want to put on your calendar. And we shared it on Facebook. So the new vendors that come up will make sure to share the event so you can see all the people that are going to be here. But last year they had this in September, and there were a ton of vendors and a lot of Mermaid Garden will be there. She does teas and infused honey and lip balm and all that kind of stuff.
Honey lollies.
She does. Yes. Your kids love those. There's going to be a numerologist there. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff. So you should save the date. Come see us. I mean, if we're going to be there, it's worth it. But everything else is just a bonus.
If you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at thecousinsweird@gmail.com, or you can send us a direct message through Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. You can give us suggestions for future episodes. You can just reach out and tell us a creepy story. If you had any interactions with shadow people, let us know. We want to hear your story.
We have a started collection, so we can do what were we gonna call it? Spill the Spooky Tea was gonna be the episode.
Spill the Spooky Tea. Yep.
Spill your spooky tea. So share us your stuff so we can spill your spooky tea. That was a good one, Margaret.
Yeah.
But on Facebook and Instagram, we're the Cousins Weird Podcast. Make sure you're following us on there because we share all our new episodes, and we also share any events we're going to or anything coming up. And if we are taking a hiatus, typically I'll post about it, but I don't think I did last week. I was real busy. But if you want to support us, always share our episodes with your friends. Recommend us to people. You want to rate our podcast on your whatever you listen to us on. Rate us on there. Leave a review for us on Facebook. The more you do that stuff, the more it pushes us out there for more people to hear us, and that's really cool. So word of mouth is always the best way. But if you want to help us keep our lights on, get us some new microphones, things like that. Patreon.com/thecousinsweird for $1. What a steal. You get bonus content. You're going to be able to see Margaret trying to do a back bend over her chair to turn her fan off in the video. We do virtuals. We put our recorded virtual videos on there so you can see our stupid faces.
Yes.
The faces you're making. We're looking dumb. You making a weird face. Margaret laughing at it.
I make weird face. I don't even realize I'm doing it. So,
I don't either. But if I happen to, that's why I don't watch these after they're done. Because I would probably never go on a film again. I can't go out in public. I make my face do that. No.
Oh, man.
And so that's for $1 a month. You get bonus content and a sticker. And then for $5 a month, you become a terrible trender. You get a bonus content, a sticker, ad-free episodes. You get to download the graphic for the episode.
Let me just say, the Terrible Trender stickers are amazing because I put one on my car last year at AnchorCon, and it's still there, and it's still beautiful and perfect. So these are top-notch stickers. Just
They're top-notch.
They're top-notch.
You're going to get a yearly gift from us, and then sometimes we'll do this Skype crap with you, too, if you want. It'll be great. Skype crap. So, I think that's it.
All right. Stay freaky. Bye.
Bye.